Excellencies, historically speaking, 25 years is a glimpse of an eye, but we know it's a quarter of a century, and that means generational turnaround. The adoption of the Beijing Declaration and the Platform of Action has accelerated progress to gender equality. Since then, we have witnessed how the promise of women's empowerment has been kept globally as well as locally. Gender equality is not new to Georgia. More than 100 years ago, it gave voting rights to women and elected 5 of them to the parliament. In 2018, Georgia has elected the first female president in the region. Furthermore, the Equality Clause, introduced in the new constitutional amendments that same year, underlined that the state should not spare efforts and resources, including special measures, to guarantee gender equality. For the past 25 years, Georgia has put in place legislation and policies on ending all forms of violence against women, for combating trafficking in human beings, and Georgia has maintained its standing among the 34 nations that comply with all obligations. On eradication of child marriage and other harmful practices, and has been enacting quotas for women's equal participation in politics. Georgia has demonstrated throughout these years its strong commitment to gender equality and women's rights, with obvious improvements in prevention and response to violence against women, reproductive health and rights, girls' education and academic attainments, but we have to do more for the political and economic empowerment of women, for women in informal economy and vulnerable employment, and last but not least, for closing the gender pay gap. The ongoing COVID-19 pandemic is a serious challenge with a high risk of delaying the enforcement of the SDG commitments, including SDG 5. As we globally and individually formulate recovery policies, we should thoroughly consider women and girls' engagement and encourage their activism. Gender-responsive budgeting gained a whole new significance as we try to mobilize resources, create jobs, address climate change, and enhance human capabilities. We have to continue to address adverse social stereotypes that nurture inequality and discrimination. We talk about women and girls, make efforts to improve their lives, but if we do not address men and boys, our endeavors won't give the required effects. Educating boys and girls is the only viable and sustainable outcome on tackling traditional stereotypes and creating better and balanced societies. The world is changing and we all are looking for innovative solutions. Solidarity and partnerships across the countries, societies, genders, and generations are key to overcoming the current crisis. I would like to reiterate that we stay committed to the Beijing Declaration and Platform for Action, and will continue to work hard that the promise made 25 years ago is implemented, among others, by turning challenges, including those imposed by the COVID-19, into opportunities, and by making Beijing and SDG agendas work hand in hand for the better development of our societies. When talking about women empowerment, we cannot forget Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg, whose legacy as one of the most fervent fighters for women's rights will live on. Women will remember her. Thank you.